You are about to opt in to MONEROTOPIA, a show for the Monero community where all are welcome to join. From noob to maxi, no matter what bags you hold. Just sit back and relax to the sweet sounds of Monero's latest progress. Or if you're feeling inspired, join us on stage. Remember, the only thing that can stop Monero is a false belief that it can be stopped. And if you want to win the revolution faster, we recommend you remove your XMR from all custodial exchanges immediately. Warning, voting accidents are common around here. Don't forget to properly secure your private keys. MONEROTOPIA starts now. Hello, hello. We made it as usual. We didn't make it, but we made it. At least to the 6:15 mark, because I know I delayed it. But sorry, guys, we're running a little late. I put 6 o'clock. And New York City traffic on Friday evening, obviously, is pretty brutal. So
Anita needs a drink.
Yes, I do. But
which one would you like?
Oh, we have two. Ooh, look at that.
Mezcals,
Look at that. Look at that.
both of which.
Oh, wait, hold on. Your mic is off for some reason. Someone's saying your mic is off. I don't know. You're like on. I don't know what happened.
That's weird. It was working 2 seconds ago.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Now it's coming back. That was weird.
That?
I don't know. There you go. Thank you, person off screen. There you go. So I guess, hello.
All right.
Well, I think they may have heard you, but anyways, I mean, they heard me. Thankfully, I was the only one that's talking, so we were good.
All right. Well,
but
you'll try
saying,
one. I'll try the other. I mean, we've tried these before, but now we'll try them side by side.
Ooh, look at that. We got these little cute little mezcal glasses as a gift.
I'll give you the Casamigos.
There you go. Ooh la la. Whoa. Okay, guys. Partay.
Hold on. I'll take the how do you pronounce your Spanish?
Del Maguey Vida.
Del Maguey Vida.
Del Maguey. Oh, Maguey. So there you go. Ooh la la.
We are into mezcal, guys.
We are. It's delicious.
We always talked about how we wanted to add that to gratuitous. It's just, haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. I mean, I think you told in another episode how you kind of stalked the Dos Hombres mezcal. Yeah. So we're not going to go through that, but
we'll do it. We'll get around to it.
If you've been listening to us and following us.
The next thing might be green tea, right?
Is that green tea is pretty cool.
And it also comes from Guatemala, believe it or not. You wouldn't think green tea is grown in Guatemala, but
I would think
there's a green tea scene there. All right.
So there we go.
My lime.
We're just kind of relaxing after running like maniacs.
So yeah, if anybody's in the mezcal industry, hit us up. We could add gratuitous to it.
There you go. Cheers. Happy Friday, guys.
Friday.
I know usually we do it Saturday, but we have some things going on, and we figured why not? Let's do it on a Friday evening. This is fun.
So good.
Hanging out with the Monero community. Woohoo! Who cares about going out? This is fun.
See, you just got to get in the right mindset.
It is. I enjoy it. I enjoy hanging out with everyone that watches our show.
Just got to schedule it a little later, though.
Yeah.
Because we can't get home by 6.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But people in Europe, they were tweeting. They're like, "Oh, it sucks. I can't watch. I have to stay up late." But it's Friday.
Friday. That's why we thought, why not? Last week we did it on a Thursday. And
we'll go back to Saturday morning.
We will. It's just sometimes, life gets in the way, right, guys?
Do some things on Saturday. I mean, we do things anyway, but
weekends it's a little tough. We do Monero and then our daytime job. So
tomorrow I actually wanted to maybe sell gratuitous coffee somewhere.
And it's going to be nice here in New York. So that should be fun.
We'll see. Or we may go to Smorgasburg in Brooklyn, I was thinking.
Okay.
And I could try to get people on board for accepting Monero.
Yeah, there's a bunch of vendors there. Yeah.
I'm thinking I might try to. I don't know how many more weeks of Smorgasburg they have, but I could try to talk to maybe get 10 of them on board, and then we can do a Monero meetup and have everybody come out and hang out and spend Monero at the vendors.
Yeah, that would be.
So maybe tomorrow that could be the mission. If I could try to convince 5 to 10.
That would be cool. 5 to 10.
All right, it's
Wow.
five.
Like, wow.
Five,
Really
five.
pushing
So people
it.
have options. And
All
then
right.
on the day of, they can continue to try to convince people. But if we could get like 5 tomorrow to agree, right? And then we could do a meetup. We could try to get like,
That meetup that we were talking
25
about. Yeah.
people out there or something, and everybody can go spend their Monero at the people that are accepting Monero.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Your challenge is accepted
So that'll be tomorrow.
on your behalf.
So if anybody's at Smorgasburg tomorrow, I don't know.
In Brooklyn, New
Tweet
York.
us.
Tweet at us.
It is an
DM
awesome
us,
scene. It's
Telegram
awesome scene.
us. Yeah, no.
Right?
It is an awesome scene. Yeah. It was fun last week.
Tons of good food. It's right on the river. City in the background. It's a little, I don't know.
It's a little what? I'm confused. What? It's a little.
The scene has changed there a little bit. Well, just overall in New York, I'd say.
It's getting better. I mean, during pandemic, it was, like everywhere else. It was, different.
Oh, but like I said, but then
new.
that's where I got that vendor on board with the wine on the street.
Oh yeah,
was,
Tati's sangria, which were really good. I mean, put the
and
video
she
on
was
Twitter
outside of the Smorgasburg, illegally.
She's
And like I said,
forget you guys. I'm gonna do it on my own outside.
Yeah, so I'll set up a coffee next to her.
Someone's saying it's in Germany. It's 6:20 p.m. dinner time. Well, enjoy your dinner. We appreciate the fact that
Germany,
you're
it's 6:20. In Germany, it's like 12:30 right now.
I don't know. Someone just said
it's
it is
6:20 here.
In Germany, it is 6:20 p.m. Well, our time, and then he goes dinner time, our time. I don't know. Oh. Anywho's, that is so early. Well, sometimes people have dinner early. I don't know. Anywho's.
Anything else we got to report? Because we got people waiting.
Yeah, we do. We wanted to talk about that. I mean, I don't know if people saw our post. Well, we'll put that last, the Joe Biden one that you wanted to put on for that. We wanted to, unfortunately, our beloved aFungible is going to be leaving our team, so we're very sad about that.
He's like permanently leaving, or he says he just can't do it as much? Or
no, he's permanently leaving. Well,
really?
He didn't say it like that, obviously. He just has other things to do.
He was putting a lot of work.
Yes, it's a lot of work, and we appreciate his time, and he was with us for a while.
We may or may not been tipping him on
occasion, may not. We're not
consistent basis.
We don't know. But anyways, obviously, we appreciate all
definitely
the time
wasn't the mic because we had talked about that. We had a
no. I think he just I guess he wants to. He has to focus on other things, and
it's time consuming.
People
I get it.
Fly away, Douglas.
People can't.
But with that being said,
he'll come back.
He's going to be with us for the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, I don't know if people saw my Reddit post. We're looking for a new Monero price report person. One person did reach out, so we're in the midst of scheduling. But we
will pay you in Monero.
Yes, we will. But we'll discuss offline. We'll have a conversation. So if anyone that's listening and is interested in the position, just email us at MONEROTOPIA@protonmail.com with the subject's MONEROTOPIA price report, and we'll schedule a call. We'll just have a little conversation, and we'll just see where it takes us. But so the link is in the description. And another thing to announce is that we're going to LibertyCon next week. So that should be fun. So I don't know if any of you are in Miami. I know Martha Bueno, she was a speaker and opening speaker, right? During our MONEROTOPIA conference. For them, for LibertyCon. So that should be exciting. So we're going to see her and whoever else is going there. It's October 14th through 15th. In Miami, Florida. So,
I'm so excited. Even though like fall literally just started.
I know.
And I love fall, but it was so miserable. It was rainy.
Yeah, it was very rainy. It was very rainy.
Today was beautiful though.
It was really nice, and yesterday was really nice too. So
yeah, but we got to get out of here.
I know, he's running away from fall apparently. But anyways,
vitamin D.
It was like he announced it yesterday. He's like, I'm so excited for the warm weather, but we're also excited to go to the conference.
That gym on the beach thing that they have down there.
Yes,
that's fun.
That's fun. That is fun.
Yeah, just hang out, do some pull-ups.
Yes, that's
push-ups.
Okay,
sunshine. Eat some seafood.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna be there, guys. If you want to meet up,
and we'll go
us.
to LibertyCon too.
We're gonna be there next weekend. So, if you guys are in town, please reach out to us.
Hit us up.
Hit us up. We're meeting a few people.
maybe we can make it official. Like, hey, we'll be at this place at this time, and just
We
kind
could
of
try.
put the word
Yeah,
out.
we could
If anybody
definitely
shows up,
post
they
it.
show
Yeah,
up.
I mean, we have a few that might
Yeah, Martha
join us.
Bueno would probably come out. Well, maybe, right?
Maybe, yeah,
She's not
definitely. I mean,
busy.
she's local, right? Maybe we'll try to set up like a small, not meetup, but like
Well, plus we'll have
location.
Tony down there, right?
Yes,
so
we're
already
it's
already a party.
But anyways, yeah, and
It's already a
Tony, we're
party.
meeting up with Tony
And a few others,
and
right?
a few others that like
Yeah,
helped
yeah,
us during
let's
the
do it.
conference. So we're gonna go hang out and chill. So reach out to us if you're in Miami, or also, you know, go to LibertyCon if you're interested in going to see the speakers.
If you're interested in Liberty.
And you're interested in Liberty.
I don't know how you could be into Monero and not be like a Liberty fanatic, but I guess
I
that's,
don't know. I guess you'll ask that question when we go interview people at LibertyCon.
Yeah.
So
that will be the question. Good
that
point.
will be the question. That
no, that's the reverse question. How Liberty people aren't, like, why they wouldn't be into Monero.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. Oh wait, so Tony wrote push-up competition at the gym. Oh my God. God help me.
I don't know. You're a lot lighter, Tony. I mean, push-ups though, I might be able to take you in push-ups. Pull-ups probably got me on pull-ups.
Pull-ups or push-ups. Yeah. Oh no, great. Guys, don't worry, I will record it because I will be on the sidelines recording. I will not be doing that. I'll be hanging out on the beach. So if anyone wants to join me on the beach,
down.
To go
Let's
relax,
make that the meetup. We'll do our little Monero meetup at the little gym, the little Miami outdoor gym.
Oh my God, help us, Lord.
We'll act like BTC Maxis. Let's do it.
Act.
I know we're a lot more badass. We're Monero
we are cooler.
people. We're
not gonna lie. We are cooler. We are cooler. Not gonna lie. Yeah, anything else you want to talk about?
We have female cage fighters that are
that is true
and beautiful at the same time.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. We are cool.
We got crazy talent.
Well, I already
knew
that. We do.
Crazy talent.
Very diverse crew here. We're not boring at all. That's the truth. But yeah, again, if you're going to be in Miami, stop by. Anything else you want to talk about? Last week, actually, we had said we were going to Libertarian Festival. Sadly, it was canceled. We were very excited about it.
Womp.
It was canceled because of the rain. So, you know, we're sad that happened, but we look forward. I guess maybe we'll probably go next
coffee.
year. Yeah, we had our coffee delivered.
5 bags. Fresh.
I know we're going to meet people that, you know, our internet friends that we find online. We were going to meet them in person. So that was cool. But unfortunately, it had to rain all weekend because of all these storms that are happening all over the place. So we look forward to going there next year, hopefully, probably, right? Next year. I mean, it is local. It's New Jersey. I don't see us not. I don't see him not going. So we'll see.
Invite me to farmers market. I'm there.
Yeah, and it looked cool though. It looked really nice, but sad. But anyways,
get them all.
I don't know if you guys care. We weren't there because it was canceled. And if you haven't checked out the interviews, we released Franco Amati's the La Bitcoin guy today or last night, I think. So check that out if you haven't.
We were a little slow in production. We had some
issues behind the scene, but hopefully it's all coming together. I won't jinx
but I'll just say it has to do with totalitarian governments getting in the way of our work product.
Yeah,
and I'm not kidding.
So we apologize if we're a little delayed.
Internet usage in certain areas of the world.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So we apologize for the delay, but yeah, it's, you know, for valid reasons as to why we aren't up to speed with certain things. But
we really do have our own little Monero circular economy. Well, we're like running our business off of Monero. It's pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Cool.
People, you know, we got a talented team willing to accept Monero.
Someone says Fed enters chat, and then Stoic says, "I am a Fed." Uh-oh. Well, that's not good to know.
Feds are welcome. They're among us.
We're hanging out.
We need them on our side too. So that, you know, work on the inside.
This is funny. No cap. It's been a while. I suspect Tony of being a Fed. Uh-oh, Tony.
There's definitely some like Monero.
Oh my
God.
Out there. Forcible entry. OMG. This is pretty funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, I think that's really it. Do you have anything else to say?
No, well, if you're in Europe and you want to help us out with gratuitous.
Oh yeah, I haven't put that post up because I don't want to overwhelm
so
people.
we have the guy that roasted here. We
Yes.
have the roaster. It's already over in Portugal. We had sent it over when we went over there for MoneroCon. We tried it. That was a whole mess. We didn't successfully roaster. The guy who was supposed to be helping us out never really figured it out, and now he doesn't want to continue. Whatever. It wasn't for him, but the machine is there. Although it did catch on fire at the event
at MoneroCon.
We think it is.
It's
salvageable. He was able.
We felt really bad because it smelled so good, and then it started smelling really bad.
It's a super cool machine. It's a little mini roaster made in Japan. It works really well when you don't completely screw it up. So anybody that's interested in, we got the machine.
It's pretty straightforward and simple. And then we have our guy that's roasting the coffee right now.
Yeah, and you'll
jump
take
on
the
a call.
profits from
it's going to be teamwork. So if someone's interested in it but feels like it might be overwhelming, it may not be overwhelming because you're gonna get like
2 orders a week, and it takes like 15 minutes to roast a bag.
Like once you get the hang of it,
and then you throw it in the mail.
I'll be putting up a post probably early next week. I just didn't want to overwhelm people because we post a lot of our content, so we'll be posting.
I love the idea of the nodes, though, the roasting nodes.
That is cool.
If we can get it really going on a big level.
Yes,
it is. It's a funny concept.
It is a funny concept. So stay tuned.
So far, we got 1 node, guys. We almost said 2, and then it went down.
I know that went down. It's okay. We keep pushing forward. If you like the coffee, I mean, we get it fresh from the farm.
Decentralized gratuitous.
You obviously see that we
don't want them shutting us down. We don't want the Fed shutting us down. We need roasting nodes all over the world.
Okay, let's calm down.
It's an unstoppable coffee company.
Yes. So stay tuned for that. I'll be the calmer one of the two here. We'll be posting that.
Who knows? They might start rationing our coffee. You never know. Gratuitous might really might be in the right place, right time.
I hope so.
Government starts rationing coffee.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, we got a direct connect, guys.
We got it. Someone's asking any locations on MONEROTOPIA. We're still brainstorming, but we're coming.
We are going down to Miami.
We are going to Miami.
And we are visiting a few venues down there and talking to people. So probably top contender right now.
Yeah, but we'll see. We, obviously we haven't announced it yet until it's concrete. But just know, we're looking, and it's we'll announce it shortly as to the location. But yeah, I guess I don't know. Again, anything else?
Nope, that's
like to mention. Good. You're okay. You're good. You vented enough for your chat.
No,
session.
we got a lot more to talk about.
Yeah,
I want to get the guests.
Anyways, I guess so. What we'll do, we're gonna put on the bring in the guest first before we bring on the price report. So here we go, my friends. The MONEROTOPIA guest segment is sponsored by Cake Wallet. Store, send, receive, and exchange your Monero and Bitcoin safely on iOS and Android too. Cake Wallet is open source, and you always control your own keys. Hello, Derrick. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Man, good.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yes. Sorry we were late. Thank you for waiting.
I know, thank you for patiently waiting. We appreciate that.
No worries.
So we I learned about you at MoneroCon. Well, I didn't learn about you. I learned about Freedom Cells at MoneroCon. Maybe cool. I heard about it at one point before that, but I never stopped to understand what it was. But at MoneroCon, there were a few reps, people that are in part of the Freedom Cells, and we got to talking. I think we interviewed a few of them. They were giving me the lowdown.
Cool.
And that's how I came. Yeah, I started researching, and I saw that you are pretty much the founder, right? Is that fair to say? You were the guy.
Yeah, I'm one of the co-founders along with my friend John Bush, both of us from Texas. And he started talking about it back in the idea in 2015, and I kind of picked it up in 2016 and ran with it. And while he was busy raising some kids, and then the last couple of years we've been collaborating on the sort of the latest version of the website and just putting the concept out there.
Yeah, I mean it's awesome what you're doing. Super interesting. Here we're all about you got to walk the walk, not just talk the talk, and that's what you guys are literally all about. We're constantly talking about like trying to build, parallel economies, build Monero circular economies. Meanwhile, that's what you guys are focused on. It's not even so much, It's not even about crypto. It's about getting people off the grid in their own networks and creating their own economies, essentially opting out.
Yeah.
In fact, when we were at the MoneroCon, there a couple of the Freedom Cell people were, asking us tough questions. When we were giving the presentations, they were like, yeah, but is anybody using it? What can you do? What can you buy with it? Like that was their main concern. Like, is this thing actually being used for purposes of creating a parallel economy? And so kudos to you, man, for doing all the legwork to get this going. It appears to have some traction.
Yeah, well, so I mean, we like I said, I first heard about the idea from John in Texas. He was talking about this idea of the Central Texas Mutual Aid Society, and essentially what a freedom cell is. It's not necessarily a new concept. The idea of decentralized mutual aid groups have been around in different forms for some time now. But specifically, we focus on groups of 8, trying to keep them local, smaller groups, and then kind of when you get to that number, or say in that general range, creating secondary groups. And as people are building groups in Houston and Texas and Florida and Mexico, where I'm at, and in now places all around the world, it's starting to become this potentially what we think is the foundation for a parallel network, because people are using the website. The website only exists to help people find each other. So you go on there, you create a free profile of here's what my interests are, here's what my skills I have to offer, here's what I would like to learn. You can put like a role, for example, like I'm a graphic designer, or I'm a builder, or I'm a permaculturist. So people can get to know you a little bit easier and a little bit about you. And then you join, and once you're part of the network, you have access to the maps. And so you get added to the map, and so other people coming along who are looking for people, they'll go to search the member maps or the cell maps. We call them cells. You can call them circles, hubs, hives, whatever. And people can search either the member map or the cell map and find groups or people that are within 10, 15, 20, 30 miles of them, whatever they like. And from there, check out their profile. This person looks like somebody I might want to connect with. Let me message them. The whole idea is facilitating connection for real world interaction. So after that, you can kind of leave the website behind. Like, people have cells on there and they'll post their events. And we actually recently added the Agora. So you can now do listings, whatever services or things you have to offer, products. And then you can set, the currency and all that. And then it's listed on there. People can search the Agora, just like the maps. They can search and show me all the listings within, 30 miles or whatever. And we've been promoting it for years, but this latest version of the website we just launched in August with all the new features I was just talking about. And prior to COVID, I'd been making videos about freedom cells applied to food production, freedom cells applied to, the economy, freedom cells applied to homeschooling, just kind of throwing out a bunch of ideas and trying to experiment with doing it in Houston, where I was originally from. And we had probably, I'd say, 1,500 people on the website prior to COVID, and then people aware of the idea. I've been talking about it for years, so people have heard about it. But it wasn't until COVID and, some of the authoritarian responses from governments around the world that we saw the network grow to where it is now. Almost, I think we're about to pass, or, close to it. 34,000 people around the world. And of course, with Telegram's growth and people using that, there's also hundreds of freedom cells on Telegram. So some people use the website to create their groups, and some people are exclusively using Telegram. Some do both. And it really started to happen in 2020. People were really looking for solutions, and freedom cells is a way not only to find other people, but we're focused on decentralization, localization. It's an apolitical movement, a nonviolent movement, and most importantly, a solutions-focused movement. So things like Monero are perfect for what we're doing. And really a lot of it is based on this concept that I wrote about in my book called How to Opt Out of the Technocratic State. It's the idea of exiting and building. So exiting from systems, slavery systems, or systems that don't serve our values and our principles, and that won't lead to more liberty, and either building new ones and or supporting those who are building those new systems. So for me in my life, I haven't used a bank account since 2008. I don't have a relationship with certain government agencies, and I've been using crypto since 2012, getting paid for my journalism and, living my life in that way. And definitely believe in the power of Monero specifically. And so that's kind of like what, like myself and the other people involved with keeping the ball rolling, and the movement itself is very much about that, about trying to get out of the current systems and building something new.
We got to get you at MONEROTOPIA, man. What are you doing in May? You want to come to Miami in May?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'd love to have you down there as a speaker. And maybe even just we like I said, we talk about it all the time, but like what would you recommend as being the actionable steps to building a freedom cell, circular economy? Let's say one based on Monero. Like you say 8 people. Like if I want to start something here in New York and Queens, I'm sure there's in New York.
There's definitely
yeah. Like what are the kind of the vital things you need to get momentum? You need like somebody that's going to provide like milk and eggs, or is it like that
so
basic?
I see you guys on the website. I want to say, like, since you're there, we do have this that Freedom Cell manual that you see listed there. We have the English and the Spanish ones. I didn't mention this earlier, but we've also now the site, because it's growing internationally, it's available in Dutch, German, Spanish. I think we got the Brazilian, Portuguese, and Portuguese as well. But yeah, so that manual was kind of crowdsourced from myself and John and a couple other people, but then also we just put it to the community sometime over the last year and said, hey, what different things, how does your freedom cell work? Because, we put out ideas, but it is very much an amorphous kind of growing organism, very decentralized. But I do think that there are some core areas that, like, if you were starting a new group in your area and you were trying to get people together, there are a few kind of points that we encourage people to focus on. One would definitely be economically, financially, like trying to exit from that system. And I think so many people over the last 2 years have seen, just like, for example, with the Freedom Convoy thing, whatever people's feelings about that, people getting their bank accounts closed for supporting, or donating or being involved in coordinating that movement, Canadians. So that put a big scare in a lot of people, and people who maybe already knew the banks were kind of bad, but they're like, yeah, it's convenient, whatever. And now those people are more willing to talk about crypto and maybe things like Monero. And so that's kind of been my role, is helping people see, like, look, there's a value, whether you're talking about precious metals or Monero, or creating your own alternative paper currency or whatever you want to do. The point is there's value in not being dependent on these legacy systems. And, from what I saw the last 2 years, it seems like the more dependent you are on those systems, the easier it is for politicians, corporations, whoever, to kind of squeeze you in those ways. For example, if your work is dependent on travel, or if you have your money in the bank account, right, and your boss is saying, if you want to get paid, if you want to come to work, you need to get a COVID shot, or you need to, do a quarantine or do some tests. Maybe those are things people don't want to deal with. But many people were coerced in the last 2 years because they didn't have any other means of income. They're dependent on those systems. And I think that the direction we're headed in, unfortunately, there's technology is such a beautiful tool. It's going to be used for good and bad things. And there's going to be ways that people's privacy, will be either eliminated or extremely under threat. And so if we don't practice that, we're going to lose it. With all that said, as a freedom cell, you could get let's say you have 5 people, you start out with 5 people, you don't need to wait till you get 8 to do anything. Or if you have 10, don't do anything, just start with what you got, get people together and say, what are our interests? Like, what goals do we have here? Well, hey, look, I want to make sure my bank account, doesn't get closed, that my money's safe. Well, how many people here know anything about Monero? Let's start there. Right? Let's talk about that. Let's get everybody Monero wallets. Let's, you start getting the knowledge and the information. The idea is that it's diffused and distributed among the group. So it's not just dependent on Derrick or one person to, know everything. You're sharing that information, and also you kind of have that support network. So if things do get tough, you don't want it to be that, like, only one person in the group has 6 months of food put away for, an emergency situation. Everybody's going to show up at their house, right? The idea would be that you say, okay, let's set a goal within 6 months. Every member of our freedom cell, let's get a little bit of backup food just in case of any kind of emergency, right? That's just being smart, not planning for doomsday or anything like that, but just being smart, because things can happen. And then you would have 7 to 8 other people that have a couple months of backup supply of food, that are using Monero. Maybe you get on an encrypted messaging app that you all use just to practice privacy and keep that, that principle alive. Maybe also you have an interest in growing food. So you start as a group learning about permaculture, or starting to volunteer one day on the weekend at a community garden, right? The idea is that you're building this, like, local strong support network. And ultimately what it does and what it focuses on is going to be dependent on the people involved, because there's also some freedom cells that are made up of parents And so those parents focus on like, okay, let's pool all of our resources together. And instead of each of us hiring different tutors and trying to, work our jobs and teach our kids, let's pool our resources together, hire a teacher we all agree with and all like, and they can teach our kids in smaller groups. And that, kind of lightens the load. Let's focus on unschooling, so depending on what your group and whoever comes together is interested in and wants to focus on, that's what that freedom cell is going to look like. So of the thousands of freedom cells that exist now, they're all very different. And some are very active and super involved in their community and just, they're pulling their kids out of school and doing homeschooling. They're pulling their money out of the banks and getting into things like Monero. Some people have bought land through people they've met on the website and through the community. It's just been honestly like very humbling and kind of mind blowing, but it's what we were hoping and anticipating would be coming or would be necessary.
Sounds exciting, man.
I know. I was really excited. Jesus.
Like this is the goal, and there's a reason why it sounds exciting, because it's people living, a fulfilled life in a community without tyranny breathing down their neck. I mean, that's why this country was founded. At least that's my belief and my understanding. Sure. It's what I like to believe. How did you get into this, man? Like, where is this passion coming from? Is this something it's always been a part of your core beliefs?
I mean, I had a journey. I mean, I'll share briefly with you guys. I mean, so I've been doing this particular work, which, besides the Freedom Cell Network, I'm a journalist. That's what pays my bills, independent journalist. So, I've been, as I mentioned earlier, I've been getting paid for my journalism starting in 2012 with Bitcoin, and then just, continued from there. That's how I was sort of in this ecosystem already. And back in 2012, I was going to a lot of the early Bitcoin and crypto conferences and trying to understand it and also seeing it as a potential tool for liberation in these ways, and so over time, my work, that work has become a lot more serious. And now that's like my full-time gig. I run a website called The Conscious Resistance. I produce documentaries, I write books, I do a lot of different things, but that's what I've been doing the last 12 years. And, that is definitely where, this has become my passion and my, my whole life. But I think actually I'll share with you guys that in 2005, I was 20 years old and I got addicted to drugs and I went to prison. I got locked up right before I turned 21. And it's kind of like that incident actually probably put me here right now, because that was a position. Once I found myself locked up, and the first time I got locked up, I was in there for 11 months. I ended up doing 18 and a half months in total over two years, kind of going in and out of the system, like there for a year, then got out, then went for a couple more months, and then eventually got a felony. And, I did the whole legal system, the drug war, all that stuff, right? I had a firsthand experience with it. So when I got locked up, it was just an opportunity for me to say, like, what the heck am I doing with my life? How did I get here? Like, I need to figure this out. I was super depressed before that and was just using drugs, as an escape mechanism. So I actually discovered meditation while I was in prison and started just doing a lot of trauma healing and working on, all the real reasons what I was trying to get away from and all that stuff. And so when I got out finally, and in like 2008, right when Obama was getting elected, I was a felon now. I was in, this new, I was also happiest I'd ever been. I was like, now I'm done with this stuff. I was sober. I felt like the depression and things I'd been dealing with had finally lifted. So I was super passionate and excited about life. And in that process, I remembered like, hey, I like to learn. I like to read. I'm an intelligent person. And I was spending a lot of time at the library just trying to get a job because I was a felon and I was getting turned down at, apartments and different jobs and such. So I was at the library all the time applying for stuff and decided to start reading some books. And then, eventually just went down some rabbit holes, and sooner or later, that was it. By 2010, I'd started this activist group, the Houston Freethinkers, and just started doing all this work. And then crypto came along, and, it's been a big part of my journey. But yeah, my work is always focused on like getting out of the systems, building something new, parallel economy, parallel networks. And yeah, I really think the seeds for all that, though, probably started with me getting locked up and getting my shit together.
Is there crazy story?
I know, crazy story. Proud of you.
Cheers to you, man.
Proud
Holy
to you.
shit. You are...
hold on. I gotta do the applause. Don't be so
man.
low.
Most people do not survive that, like they come out of that and that's it, right? It's like a vicious cycle. But
yeah, for sure.
You broke out of it.
Yeah. So proud of you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
What was there any book in particular that sticks out as something that that led you down that rabbit hole?
Like that started waking me up.
Look at that.
This book, Rule by Secrecy. It's actually like my second or third copy. You see, it's like torn because I've read it.
Shit, I never heard of it.
So this book in combination with Ron Paul's book, Revolution and Manifesto, I was reading both of those in 2010. And this is more of like a kind of conspiratorial background. And in Ron Paul's was like the libertarian, voluntarist, and the Fed kind of stuff. And that was, those things were happening at the same time as I was starting to ask questions, and then, other experiences. But yeah, from there, it was just like, all right, there's a lot going on in the world I didn't think about before, know about. And then I started to take it serious, like I mentioned, and really look at it from like a journalistic viewpoint and do my own investigations, my own work. And it's honestly, it's been a fun journey. I mean, there's really nothing else I'd rather be doing other than trying to, and for me, like with crypto, with Bitcoin and with Monero, like it's something that I like live, I get paid in this. So I try to encourage people to, I've been able to, because I've been using it so long, to have a support network so that when I do need to cash out, if there's something I can't pay in crypto yet, then, I have those networks and those resources, and Freedom Cells can help people start providing that. So you guys talk about like a circular economy. That's the idea, is like if each of those groups, some people are very skeptical of crypto still. I think there's some of that crowd that are like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. And that's fine, but just encourage people to like, well, think about some alternative, right? But for people who are open to it, it to me, Monero naturally kind of overlaps with what we're already building and doing.
100%. It's the ideal tool to be using among the group, for overcoming the issue of what do they call it in economics? The occurrence of needs. What's the term I'm looking for? The fact that we need money because a barter economy doesn't work, because you might have eggs and I might have a cow, but you don't want a steak right now, right? So I'm forgetting that.
It's specialized, and you can't. It's definitely, we need some sort of medium of exchange. Right. And there are people who think that all money is going to go away and they'll go back to barter. And I think that barter can work in some situations, like you're saying, but then there's others where it's impractical, and it's not, at least in my view, inherently that like money or currency itself has a negative connotation or some sort of inherent negative value to it. I think that some people feel that way, but it's just because the concept and the use of money that most of us are accustomed to is something that maybe isn't something we want to recreate, right?
Medium of exchange. No, not medium exchange. The term for people's needing to be the contrary to each other at the same time. What is it called? Oh my god, somebody out there will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just can't think of it.
Some Austrian economics guy will throw it in there any second now. Yeah, definitely, Matt. So how is your Freedom Cell? Is it? I imagine it's pretty robust. It's going strong over there.
So yeah, I live in Morelia, Mexico, in like central Mexico, and we've been here for 2.5 years. And we do have a group here that meets. We do different activities on a monthly basis, and with some of the Freedom Cells, some people are super in the city. They have no desire to get land, and like New York and other places like that. So they still want some way to connect with people and have that local. At the least, for some people, it becomes like maybe a social thing where at least they can talk freely and feel like they're, not being judged or, whatever it may be, for their views or opinions. But then there are other cells that are very, very much focused on their goal is to get land, get out of the city, have established themselves and grow food and stuff like that. And that's definitely one of our goals. So we have like the Morelia public cell. We have a Telegram on the website. People can go, join and see when we post about events and different things we do, from monthly social potlucks to documentary screenings to things like hikes or documentary screenings or meditations, but then also skill shares, teaching people more about growing their food, permaculture, beekeeping, things like that, right? So we try to incorporate all those elements. And then there is, with myself and my partner, we're working with another group out here that's kind of an offshoot of that Freedom Cell, specifically on getting land and building this project that I've had in mind for a couple of years. So yeah, and I was originally based in Houston, and that's where I was first doing Freedom Cells over the years. And it kind of started with what I was talking about earlier. Like the first thing, we were just, let's make sure everybody in the group knows how to do CPR, something basic like that, right? Because again, in a problem situation, you wouldn't want it to be like, oh my God, somebody's choking, and only one of us knows how to do anything about it, and they're not here, right? Okay, sorry, I guess we'll watch you choke. And I've been in that situation where, one of our other friends / Freedom Cell members literally saved my life because I was trying to eat a sandwich too fast and I started choking, and he saved me. So without that skill, it could have been deadly, right? So the idea, though, is again, you spread that knowledge, those skills around. So it could be skills where, like, let's make sure we all know some basics about, planting some food if we need to do that. Let's make sure we all know how to sign up for a Monero wallet, the cake wallet you guys are talking about, and how to send an exchange and do some basics with crypto, whatever your focus is. But we really do focus on food. Clearly, there's a lot of concern about food supply chain, inflation, rising food prices. So that's always just a good area for people, whether that means learn to grow food or let's just as a group start stocking up some food to put away, not because you're doomsday preppers preparing for the zombie apocalypse, but because every one of our ancestors got us here by thinking ahead of what was coming for the winter, right? And then now that kind of idea has been maligned, like you're prepper, you must be some kind of crazy wacko or something. But I think it's just smart, to think ahead.
It's good to also know.
Right? Yeah. So that's interesting. You're thinking of it in terms of people meeting up and preparing, because that's easier to start, right? Because it's easier to jumpstart as opposed to just trying to create a circular economy overnight where, like, oh, this guy's a painter, that guy's a mechanic. So we come together, we talk about, what skills we have collectively and start creating some like baseline things we could all work together on.
Yeah. And some of those could be like you were talking about. I heard you mention earlier about going out and trying to talk to businesses and get them on Monero. This is something I did a couple of US tours back in 2017, 2018, speaking tours that were sponsored by Roger Ver and Bitcoin.com. And part of it was like the outreach, just going out there and trying to get more businesses to open up wallets. And, because as you guys know, if people aren't using it, then, people are like, hey, what do I do with this internet money you got? I can't do anything with it. So, I definitely think that could be a goal of Freedom Cell. Like if people were super focused on not only, okay, we can trade amongst each other now, but hey, what about when I want to go out and buy some food? Well, we need to get more businesses in our community. Let's, as a group, go out, spend some time on a weekend or something, going and talking to businesses and trying to get them and say, hey, we're going to create a listing in our community and spread it around and let people know this business accepts Monero, and we'll promote you through that. Are you interested in being involved? There's a way, I think, to use that Freedom Cell structure to advance that goal as well.
Awesome. Yeah. That's exactly where I was trying to go. You just nailed it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to tap into the freedoms. I'm sure there is one in New York, like you said. I don't know how close everybody will be, but I'm gonna look into that. And if not,
check it out. Yeah,
we'll try to post our own and combine it with our Monero meetup people.
Do it. Yeah. You'll definitely recruit. I mean, that's what we tell people. If you've already got other groups and such, like, even if you're not explicitly doing the Freedom Cell structure, go create a MONEROTOPIA or Monero Talk on the website, and you'll have people connect, and you can, promote things you're doing, and you'll see the values that we're about. I think it's pretty aligned with what you guys are doing. And, I always tell people, like, if you do go on there and you search and you don't see people close to your area, or you don't see a group in your area yet, then be the one to create it, right? Because there's so many people who would say that to us. They email us and they say, like, oh, I checked it out, but nobody's in my area. And that's like, well, somebody else is probably doing that same thing, and they're waiting for someone to start the group so they can join and say, hey, I'm here. So we just encourage people to be proactive and plant the flag, say, here we are, we're out here, this is what our goals, our purposes are. We want to meet up and talk about, do this thing, whatever, and people will come through. And it's really been fulfilling. Even just today, like before this interview, I had a member of the Portugal Freedom Cell who just arrived to Mexico, in a different part of Mexico, and was asking to get connected. So I was sending them the links to all the different groups that have organized on Telegram and on the website, and say, here, depending on where you want to go, there's groups here, there's groups here, there's groups here. And we really do envision, as we're building this parallel network as well, and I've already seen this, that people could use the maps as a way to travel as well. So say you're, going to Florida or just visiting a different part of the country, look up Freedom Cells, look up and see what's on the map and who's there, and what, meetups or groups might already be happening. It's just a good way to network with more liberty-minded, privacy-minded people.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'll be tapping into that.
Yeah, we'll be tapping into that.
Coincidence of wants is the term I was thinking of.
Okay, there you go.
I was he was looking it up.
It's like, I gotta know this.
He's like, I have to, which I get it. No, if it's like,
All right. So yeah, people are saying I need to do a full Monero talk with you. Yeah, definitely down if you're down at some point. And like I said, we'd love to have you at
we'll talk offline
at the Miami event. Yeah. And maybe we could think of, in addition to just having you come down and give a talk, if we could make it somehow proactive to growing,
I would love to do that. We've done these in person, myself and John Bush and Ramiro Romani, who's our tech genius behind the whole thing. We've done some in-person like Freedom Cells workshops. So like it's part talk where, we give people an intro about what it's about, but then we say, okay, how many people we got here? Let's break up into groups of 8 or whatever we got and literally show people. And kind of, we've done it where, so you end up with, 10 groups or whatever, people separated, and we'll give them a prompt, like different things like, hey, you find out that, let's imagine that it just came out. It was just announced that the U.S. government is going to freeze all bank accounts of people who donated to the wrong charity within 30 days. How would your Freedom Cell handle this? Or, hey, what if you found out that the grocery stores weren't going to be restocking in the next week? Just different, like, kind of not necessarily doomsday scenarios, but just to get people thinking in terms of like, how would us as a group think about this, or what would we do? And most of the time people are like, well, the best thing to do is to be proactive ahead of time, to not be in that situation where you're like, oh no, things are going wrong. So that's why, Freedom Cells. But yeah, I would love to come and we could do like a really interactive thing.
Cool, man.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. Yeah.
We'll be like, well, we got coffee. What does anybody else have anything? We got coffee. We got plenty of coffee.
You got mezcal.
We got mezcal. Well,
from the last MONEROTOPIA, we've plenty of shrooms and
oh my god, yeah,
chocolates. And you will survive. You will survive.
Definitely survive like a month.
It's gonna be a rough month.
Be a hell of a time, actually. All right, man. You want to? You're more than welcome to stick around if you like.
I gotta get going, but I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you for being so patient much, and sorry we were late.
Apologize. Again.
Yeah. No worries.
It wasn't our fault. But.
I understand. Yeah, if anybody wants to find out more about it, the website, I think you guys showed it earlier.
Yeah, I have it in the links. Yeah, I have it in the description. Yep.
Perfect. Thank you guys. And my website's theconsciousresistance.com, and I look forward to talking to you guys some more.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, man.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
You too.
Take care.
Freedom Cells, guys.
All right, look at that.
Do it.
That's pretty cool.
Tap into it.
I thought it was funny. He laughed. I thought it was hilarious. Anywho's, I guess with that, we're going to move on to the price segment because I'm sure people are looking forward to that. Okay. Is that cool?
Not really. I don't think anybody cares about the price.
I don't know. Some people do. Some people don't.
No, we do.
It's a mixed community.
aFungible has been doing an amazing job, but now he's moving on.
Are you sad? I mean, I'm sad too, but people move on.
He's playing hard to get.
All righty, we're gonna move on. Okay. The MONEROTOPIA price report segment is sponsored by Local Monero. Avoid using KYC exchanges. Buy and sell Monero directly for fiat, peer-to-peer.
All right. Good, we good?
It's loading.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing hale and hearty. Well, at least at my end, I'm not doing so much hale because I think I'm a bit down in health today, but there is so much spice to cover in this report that I hope I feel better. Well, it just so has happened of late that I've been a bearer of bad news, isn't it? We've got a number of things to discuss in this report, what's been happening around the globe. Well, as you first see, United Kingdom has been on the brink of collapse. What happened the last week? The UK government buying bonds and trying to save its market from collapse. And who knows what's going to happen next. But it certainly doesn't look so healthy. Overall in the global economy, I think US is doing better, relatively speaking. I think all the economies are in shit in some way or the other. But US, as we know, their currency is something that people are seeking at the moment. Well, the second thing is couple of banks are in question right now, the Credit Suisse and Deutsche Bank rumored to collapse. Let's take a look at the stocks for that, shall we? So the first in line is the Swiss bank, whose stock has tumbled from the highs of $70 in 2007 to now $4. Nobody's wanting the stock. People are actually hopping, investors are hopping to the CDS, which is the credit default swap, and the price of the CDS has been increasing. That means the risk profile of the company, the underlying, has been increasing. So this is something that we will get to know by end of this month, what is going to happen with this company about their balance sheet restructuring. And the second line is Deutsche Bank. This is a pretty famous bank, a lot of scandals, even with Credit Suisse. This is a bank from Germany, as we all know. Its stock has been tumbling as well, now down to $7. Nobody wants it. And this is also a bank in question. The reason I'm discussing these banks is if any one of these banks collapses, it's going to have a shock wave, just like how we had for Lehman Brothers, maybe on a smaller scale, but these are major banks for those countries. And in terms of the crypto markets, we are pretty much in the low volatility index of about 20, which means there is a lot of fear in the market. And talking about fear, given that there is a low volatility, this period of consolidation range is pretty much an uncommon phenomena. And well, media always talks about how volatile Bitcoin is. Probably they should start talking about how stable Bitcoin is after all these years. This period of volatility feels more like the end of bear market in November 2018, where we were trading about $6,000. People were shouting for $10,000. And what happened? We crashed by 50%. We came down to 3K. And on the other side, 6 months later, where we were saying that we have not touched the bottom yet, we are still in, we're going to see deep bear market, expecting 1,000 where we were trading around $6,000. What happened? We went to 14,000. So this is the dynamics at play. This particular scenario shows the volatility follows quiet period. So I'm expecting a good amount of volatility in the coming weeks, where we see Bitcoin either going towards 30,000 or it's going to crash below 18,000. So that is something a wait and watch. And second pretty interesting part is the Bitcoin hash rate has been peaking. It's currently about 258 exahash per second. And just to give our viewers just estimate of what this means is, let's say each one of us, the 7.75 billion people on Earth, start computing the SHA-256 algorithm calculations. Each of us doing 30 billion times a second. So that is the total amount of computing power that is required is this. That is what we are seeing. So that's an enormous number. And the reason this spike has been going up, because I've been following this miner hash rate for quite a while, is off late, recently, miners have been upgrading their equipment. They have been, making their whole system efficient, also energy efficient, that trying to have a trade-off against energy as well, going to renewable energy. So this whole mining industry is very capitalistic. It's basically mine or die. The best in the class survives. It's all balance sheet restructuring. It's compute and innovate, and it's a remarkable little system. And that's the reason, in my opinion, it's been going high. It's instead of saying the new miners join the system, which is always the case. But also interestingly, important to note is that, the question is always coming, whether are we going up or are we going to crash another 50%? Well, the answer to that is, one of the important parameters to see is the cost to mine, the cost of production of Bitcoin. What is the cost of production of Bitcoin? Well, currently the cost of production for Bitcoin is about $18,000 at the moment as we speak. And what happens if we drop below $18,000? That means a lot of miners will leave, and it's going to create miner stress because people cannot pay their wages, etc. And this data is from Glassnode that if Bitcoin, let's say, drops to 12,000, that is the price point at which the best miners in the industry will be left. because the miners who only mine on renewable energy, etc., they can actually trade off for the cost of 12,000 basically. That will be the production cost. So that is interesting, and in the next halving, the price of production, cost of production will double to $24,000. So a lot of interesting data there. So in my opinion, I think we are either going down below 18K or 30,000. I'm banking more towards 30,000 in the coming days. Also, October is historically a great time of rallies. Well, going forward, another interesting data is how long have we been in the bear market? Historically, you would see in 2018 and 2014-15 bear markets, we've been in this kind of phase for about 365 to 390 days. Currently, we have finished 304 days. So even if you were to stretch this a little further, we're going to be in this phase as per the data from the past about until January 2023. That is what I have here, and also the Bitcoin charts. The RSI has been pretty low. It's been pretty stable at the moment. And well, you can see what I can see. The miners' health is also improving. The hash rate is also improving. Although the price has been at this lackluster levels, I see us doing better going forward, given that RSI can only go up. It can fall down, but we have been actually on the historical lows even in RSI at the moment, if you can see this. And the next in line is the XMR USD chart. Nothing much is happening. It's hovering around $140 to $150. I'm waiting for large volumes to pick up on Monero. Only then there is a possibility for us to go above this band, and it's going to follow the likes of Bitcoin, which is also struggling in this, or maybe it's just relaxing in this silent period before high volatility action takes place. And a couple of things to share is this is the chart of Bitcoin fee versus Bitcoin fee in reward, like percentage of transaction fee that miners get versus reward. Right now, it's about 1% the miners earn in transaction fee as compared to the reward of, let's say, 6.25 Bitcoin. But in high volatility periods, like in 2018, this can go as high as 43%. That's pretty crazy. And the next in line is the this is the funny part actually. The Bitcoin versus Monero tweets. Bitcoin has about 200,000 tweets per day, and likes of Monero has like 200 tweets. And I was just thinking why this happens. And this is likely because the likes of Michael Saylor and other OGs, when they, or institutions, when they talk about Bitcoin, they get 6,000, 7,000 retweets immediately, or Musk talks about it. And then, yeah, it all blows up. And that is why you get likely so many tweets. And for Monero, it's, I see it as used by common man. People don't really talk about it. They just use it. So that's like a little fun contrast I wanted to share. Well, that is all from my side in this report. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would see you in the next price report. Have a good one.
Alrighty. All right.
I had us muted longer than expected.
I'm gonna miss those aFungible price reports.
What
do we gotta do, man? What do we gotta do?
I don't know. You gotta talk to him offline. As Doug convinces him, like, hey, please stay. I mean, we love him.
Somebody else will step up.
Well, it's time for people, for him to fly away and embrace life and continue his life.
Is that what you want to do?
No, this is my life.
All right, let's move on. We got the news. Oh wait, hold on a second. I'm hearing we have a special announcement by the President of the United States. Guys, we gotta bring this in. Hold on a second, guys.
Let me start off with two words. Made in America. Made in America.
There you have it, guys. Straight from the president's lips. So we're all good. We'll be fine. We'll
all be fine. I think we'll all be fine. You're terrible. And with that, we're going to move on to the news segment. That was a good segue. Good job, Tony. And now for our weekly news segment. Aloha, Tony.
Hey, everybody. Hey, happy Friday.
Happy
Friday,
Friday.
man.
Now you're in the dark. Last week you were in the brightness.
Your sound is great.
I know your sound is
Good
great.
sound.
Well, he always
Thank
has
you.
a nice voice. Very calming, soothing voice.
That's what we need. That's what we need around here.
And that's why we have Tony.
Exactly.
Voice of reason.
That's why we have Tony. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Thank you also. I'm well. And before we begin, I also want to say 2 words. Just two, you know.
Just 2. Terrible. Oh my goodness.
Just 2, you know, not more. I thought that was so funny.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Crazy.
but before we begin, I want to say Derrick has been an amazing guest. Usually, before I hop on, studying and having the show in the background, and every single time I get sucked into your conversations, and then I just don't study and I just pay attention to whoever the guest is.
That's good. That means
That's
we're doing a
good.
good
That's
job.
good.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
good. I'm glad to hear
Yeah, no,
that.
it's more
That's
important.
good.
You pay attention. Don't worry.
Yeah, but Derrick, what a story! Also, what a story! You know,
Right?
going from that dark path and then doing what he does now. That is incredible, and that's an inspiration.
Yeah. And that's where that true passion's coming from. He knows what not having liberty really is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Go in prison for 18 months. And then to try to deal with that, to try to get back into the system, it's not easy. Not easy.
Plus, they're not making it easy, so
No.
no.
But yeah,
What?
very, very cool. I think we got him. We convinced him to participate in MONEROTOPIA.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
on the spot.
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Exclusive.
MONEROTOPIA, Monero Talk.
That's
Yeah,
that's an exclusive.
No, the conference.
The
We'll have him
conference.
down at the conference.
yeah. And Monero Talk, hopefully.
Yes,
Monero Talk.
definitely. Yeah. We'll
Both
definitely
of them.
do that. in the
Yeah.
upcoming months. But yeah, I guess
Let's get into it because we have.
take it away, my friend.
I have no idea what happened this week, but we have
This
a
is
lot
going to
of
be a marathon episode.
I
Did you
know.
turn the stove on
let's-
for the steak?
No, I did
all right,
not.
Good.
Because
That's good.
I
'cause you
felt
burned the
like
house
this
down.
was going to take a bit, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll do it a
'Cause
little faster.
There's a lot of news.
'Cause people got
There's
things
a lot
to
of
do.
news, and we're going through all of it, right, Tony? We're gonna cover it all.
Yeah, of course. I had even more because Binance got hacked and all this stuff.
It's like, I can't even keep up.
I know it's just so much, but yeah, no, we're gonna go over every single one of them, or fast or slow. We're gonna do it. So let's get into it. Starting off with The Verge, the FBI says it caught an ex-NSA employee trying to sell top secret intelligence documents. The NSA, well, as a rule, wants to employ people who are good at spying. But according to the FBI, one former employee tried to turn the tables on the agency and was caught in the act. Now, why am I mentioning this? Well, in exchange for transmitting the full documents, the FBI says that Dalk requested a payment of $85,000 in cryptocurrency. The undercover agents sent Dalk a preliminary payment of around $4,800 in cryptocurrency, which he then transferred to an account at the Kraken exchange and then converted into US dollars to withdraw. But what was the currency of choice? Roughly 30 units equaling 4,800 in late August means it was likely to be the privacy-focused coin Monero, which has emerged as the top choice for fraudulent transactions online.
It's hard to not, celebrate that. I mean, it just shows it's working, man. It's working. Crazy though. This is what they're going to use to say they need to, ban Monero. These are the arguments that are going to be made, right?
Oh, we're gonna get into that also. Yeah, it's hard to do that, but yeah, it's a good thing that people are now starting to mention Monero instead of Bitcoin when it comes to. Well, it's not a good thing, but it's just good for adoption.
It shows that all our predictions are coming true, right? So Monero works as intended, Bitcoin doesn't. But we're gonna have to face the wrath of that. It's gonna be different, I believe, than what Bitcoin had to face in the early days.
I think so, but they're not gonna cover that Gratuitous is selling coffee for Monero and that they're getting tipped on Monero. They're not gonna cover that. So they're gonna say that it's used for illicit activities. So you also have that,
Exactly.
But yeah, let's talk about adoption more because Coin cards ran the numbers for the usage percentage, and worldwide we have Bitcoin at 45 and Monero at 22, and Ethereum at 13. In Canada, we have 51% for Bitcoin and 10% for Monero. Second is Ethereum, which is weird. But in the USA, predominantly people use Monero, 56% versus 26% of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
That is a big, yeah, that is
Oh wow, is that like the
Wow.
highest we've seen for USA?
I think so. It's been
Wow.
around 54 or 53, something like that. But yeah, it's you can see that the mentality in two different regions. So I'm not sure I mean, do people love more? Do people in the US love freedom more than the people in Canada?
No, there was
Yeah.
some explanation for it. We brought this up on a few shit, right? Arctic Mine had some, I forget what the there was some reasoning as to why there's less people using Monero,
huge
other
difference,
than
yeah.
their lack of love for liberty. There was some practical reason why.
Mhm.
I forgot what it was though.
But I mean, it's going up 10%.
Yeah.
Soon enough, it's going to be 17, and we're just hoping.
I
but
mean,
let's talk-
overall usage is down for crypto, right?
Oh, it
I
says
mean,
Canada has gone back far. It says Canada doesn't have XMR listed. I believe USA has Kraken. Maybe.
Yeah,
it's not even listed. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously, so that's obvious why it's
yeah. So that's
less.
one big reason. Yeah.
But overall, I mean, usage has got to be down, right? Transaction counts are down because bear market. But Monero needs to become immune to that. I think it will be the first coin that becomes immune to bear markets, right? We're not quite there yet, but where people are just going to be using it, we're getting there. It has that base usage, people, that need it for true digital cash purposes, but that usage is only going to grow in time. And then whether it's bull or bear, there's going to be people using it on the daily.
I think the same. I think the same, but that's gonna take time.
That's going to take time.
Yeah. But let's talk about the Monero Garden from Andres. Let's get into
cool.
this. Super interesting. So it's a CSS proposal, and wow, we have.
Nice. Oh wow! Earlier.
Look at that.
Wow.
We had
Go
0 like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Okay.
Something like that. Yeah, because I kept checking. Wow.
I kind of only briefly saw this. I know it's Andreas is working on something. What exactly is the Monero Garden?
So the Monero Garden would be. It's basically a website that would start people's journey to Monero. People's.
Interactive
Oh,
website.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's
an
gonna make it
interactive like website for like noobs.
very cool.
Yeah.
And he's so
And
creative.
he's so creative. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna
He's
be
got
like
the
a boring.
skills. This is
It's gonna be a really
this
nice
is-
website.
He's gonna do a good job on this.
He's gonna do a great job. His
Yeah.
illustrations are awesome, and
Yes.
it's not about just beginners. From what I understand, he's also going to make to do it for people that are advanced and want to learn even deeper things about Monero. So
wow. Okay.
it's gonna be in the entire path
Cool.
with the roots and everything.
Which makes sense. That's cool. It's a cool timeline.
And he used the regular CCS. He didn't use the other funding mechanism.
Yeah. I think this is the only one that he's using.
Yeah, that was the only thing that was posted. I think.
Well, let's see. Is it
Very
actually
cool.
working? Monero Garden. Let's
The CCS is easier because you just have the address.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably.
I think it's part of the reason why she was having, Elizabeth was
Ooh.
having trouble.
Oh
raising
yes.
for the Ethereum.
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Nothing against with what because we're even technically a part of that, right?
Yeah.
The magic.
Yeah.
It just shows you, usability, right? So here it's like people just can send their Monero to the address. Just that little friction is making it not as
Yeah.
Cool.
Look at that.
The attention span. Yeah. So it's like, oh, it's not easy. So whatever.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, so this.
Wait, leave it up. I'm gonna do it right now. Hold on.
Oh, I'm gonna do it too. Okay.
See, that's what because I wanted to do it with the listeners thing. Do it. I was like,
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Send.
Are you guys still sinking?
That's what
Yeah.
That's the only.
I haven't used Monero in a while because it's bear market.
And sand.
Like 2 days.
Beautiful. For the people watching at home, join along.
Join along. Send a little donation to the Monero Garden.
Beautiful. It's still sending using Cake Wallet.
Yeah, I'm
my
a
phone.
Monero man.
I'm
I see a
sending
QR,
$25.
I tip.
$25.
I'm gonna send an X amount because you can actually say
Anonymous,
that.
yeah, you can actually say that.
You can actually say that.
All
Could
right.
be
So
Yeah.
donate.
You sending thousands, pennies, who knows?
maybe that's a.
All right, let's move on.
Please don't just send a penny. Send
No,
more.
thousands or pennies, who knows?
Yeah.
All right.
But let's move
Moving
on. We've been too relaxed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about. Let's get some heat. Europe is getting cold, so I think it's gonna use some heat a little bit. So Fiat Jeff tweeted that if any giant organization wants to spend money to ensure Bitcoin success, I believe the best use of your money is to now fund attacks against Ethereum and Monero. If we can make these two networks crash, the Bitcoin ecosystem will instantly get a lot of new useful adepts. He got 93 likes, and he sent a grant application to Spiral. And he details his malicious intentions. The end goal is to turn Monero into a very slow, costly, and unreliable network, such that blah, blah, blah. Then he thanked everybody because it blew up. It was really worth it. It blew up, but not in the good sense. We have a person say that he disagrees. Bitcoiners should focus on Bitcoin, which is true. Obviously, we had the Monero community respond back, such as Seth, and we'll get into it in a second. I think, is this his responder? No, this is something else. Grampy, Jan, Monero Mateo, Thanos, Mano, everybody, Monero Boating Club, everybody responded that, what you're saying is nonsense. Focus on, you can believe in Bitcoin and you can be a Bitcoin maximalist, and that's no problem. Focus on that development, but there's no reason to attack. Why would you attack? I mean, sure, there's more money being dispersed throughout more cryptocurrencies. There's thousands of them. Could be just in a couple of them which actually do stuff. Sure. But just because you don't believe in it, you can say stuff like this. And then I'm not sure what this blowing up message meant, but yeah, it was interesting to see.
Yeah, that really blew. I think even Fluffy Pony chimed in like at the end. He's like, thanks for the research and development funding.
Yeah,
like,
actually,
go ahead, attack the network, and we'll learn from it. Like, if you want to throw a resource, raise money to help build Monero, please do.
Yeah, and actually, I do have a conspiracy theory. So I think that he actually got the money to go against Monero's network, and he went against Zcash. That's my conspiracy theory.
Right? Is that the same guy? What's going on there? It is really funny. The timing is kind of hilarious with that, right?
It's just a couple days. I think it took 3 days for the money to arrive, October 2nd to October 5th, and he was like, okay, shit, we did it to Zcash, not to Monero, and this is actually funny. Of course, guys, it's not true. It's just a joke. So,
we don't know. We don't know.
But yeah, we don't know. We actually don't know.
But yeah, Zcash is. I mean, it's blowing. Is it still being attacked?
Okay, so what is going on? Basically, someone spammed Zcash, the Zcash blockchain, and tripled its size to over 100 gigabytes, which is a lot for a node operator for the usual regular citizens. And the attack is costing them like $10 a day in transaction fees. Someone wrote, sweet, massive adoption of the Zcash blockchain. I don't think he understood what's going on. But
I think that was Zuko that said that, right? Didn't even Zuko say that? I don't know.
No. Someone else
suggested that too, saying it shows adoption.
Barry Silbert.
Oh, yeah, it was Barry Silbert. Yeah, he's a big Zcash investor.
But we have Zaka. Also, the Zcash network is continuing to provide self-sovereign, private, permissionless money. if you want to try it, James, blah blah. I mean, it's not a good thing, and let's talk about it. We had Peter Todd comment on it. This is a big subject, so we'll spend a bit of time.
Yeah.
Zcash and Monero are particularly vulnerable to spam attacks because, unlike Bitcoin, they can do pruning. All nodes need to maintain a list of spent coins indefinitely. Bitcoin plus CoinJoin plus Lightning is much more scalable. That's a lot to unpack. First of all, and we'll go into it more, but Monero can be pruned. And essentially, pruning means that if you're a node operator, you can essentially run your node, but with a lot less storage, like 1/3 of what it actually is.
Yeah, it exists. You can prune, just not to the degree you can do it in Bitcoin.
Absolutely, yeah. And Bitcoin plus CoinJoin plus Lightning is much more scalable. That's a long topic. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get into it because that's really long. And Arctic Mine.
That's a whole Arctic Mine show. I should have Arctic and Peter on at the same time. That would be an epic showdown.
That would be epic. But then he claimed something else. Then he said, well, you can actually prune it, and back and forth. With Paul comment about this also. But now let's see, because I think Seth responded, not to Peter, but well, let's see. This is also to Peter as well. But let's see what Seth said. One of the benefits to Monero's approach to always build for adversarial environments is that this type of attack is well understood and prepared for. Monero uses a higher base fee, plus fee per byte, plus dynamic block sizes to make spam attacks as expensive as possible. In Zcash, it's not the same because it is fixed. So these attacks don't cost much to perform. As Seth says, Zcash unfortunately chose for some reason to implement transaction fees arbitrarily instead of tying them to transaction size, while having high size verification time per taxation. They also implement a high block size cap of 2 megabytes per block or 16 megabytes per 10 minutes without dynamic block sizes. Yeah, so
yeah, I mean, effectively on Zcash, you could spend very little to attack and bloat the chain with spam, right? I mean, it's much easier to do than with Monero.
Much easier, and Xenu actually talks about it. The Zcash spam attack continues. Almost every block contains a shielded transaction with hundreds of outputs. In doing so, the spammer can successfully blow up the size of the chain by maxing each 2 megabyte block every 75 seconds. The cost of each spam transaction that you just mentioned is less than a cent.
Gone Badfire saying Zcash wallets can't even sync now. LOL. I mean, we hate to be, we're not. This is just the difference between. I think Monero would even just kind of respond differently if this was happening, and be talking more about admitting it's a flaw and trying to find a solution, right? As opposed to doubling down on, saying it's just good.
Absolutely. And actually, I commented on something that you tweeted, I think, about Zcash, and Zako actually private messaged me, and actually I talked to him for quite a bit, and he gave me some Zcash, and we did a bit of back and forth with the shielded to shielded and all this stuff. Yeah, so that was nice of him for sure. I appreciated that, and he was trying to make me understand a couple things. So yeah, I mean, even if the privacy is there, with their cryptography, and it's interesting, their approach. Maybe I'm not a fan of it, but but there's more to that. There's also you need to have a decentralized network. You need to have a scalable network, and there's not little, but things like this that also matter when it comes to fees. So it's not a bad thing. I mean, it is a bad thing, but just keep working on it and may the best win. I don't know.
What do you think about trying to get Zuko to come to MONEROTOPIA?
Why not? Honestly, because
try to get him on the show.
No, let's skip the show. Get him down. Get him down with I would want him talking to the other Monero people, right? Like
that is true.
We could set up a good round table. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're respectful and people in the Monero community are generally respectful, absolutely. Why would that be a problem?
Yeah, we could have Monero, Zcash, Pirate Chain.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah, yeah,
nice.
for sure.
I
A
think that's
privacy
cool.
roundtable.
Not actually. That's not
I don't know. Some people
terrible.
lose their mind.
Yeah, but I mean,
I think that's right.
be
I know
fine,
like we get
think it'll be
pushback, but that's
fine.
like let's explore it, right? I mean, we're confident in our Monero-ness, right? Unless that's the thing with the maxis, right? It shows a lack of confidence, right? Why do they need to be so maxi? You don't need to be maxi if it's if it's gonna work. If everything you believe is gonna happen, then why are you so like concerned about the competition, right?
Exactly. Like a lion doesn't show its teeth all the time,
Right,
Oh,
exactly. There you go.
But yeah, why not? This is not an attack on Zcash or anything. They have different approaches. Zcash has a different approach. Pirate Chain. So we're all trying to have the best alternative to the financial system, and that idea is great. I mean, if we can get that at MONEROTOPIA, that'll be awesome.
Zuko, Gombat said Zuko said it was fine because no one uses shielded transactions anyway, basically admitting no one uses it privately.
I've actually asked him that question. Why is the shielded usage so low? And he said that, well, basically there's a lot of Zcash on centralized exchanges and things like that.
So what was his greatest, criticism of Monero? That it's a shell game, right? He's like convinced that Monero isn't truly private.
Did he say that?
Did he go into that or?
No, not really. No. I talked, but I just asked him about a bunch about Zcash. Nothing really about Monero. I was just curious to ask him questions about his thinking and why did you do this in your approach. It was a respectful conversations that I really appreciate.
Yeah, he's just highly critical of ring signatures, but it's odd because I mean it's literally one component of Monero, and it's just like kind of theoretical, and it ignores the fact that it allowed us to make Monero usable as digital cash from day one, right? Which allowed it to grow its network effect. I mean, there's design choices there.
Definitely design choices. Powell actually. There was some conference a couple of years ago in Germany, and Zako was there, and Paul organized. I think he told me that he organized. He put a chair for him and everything, and he didn't show up to the discussion. Something along those lines, also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but let's talk about Dan because the hate doesn't stop, guys. It's probably the Monero boys who are doing it. I don't see any other losers.
That was hilarious.
Who would waste time doing this? Zcash is Monero's rival, so they try to weaken it. It's one of the reasons I don't invest in Monero. I just don't like the people in the community.
That's secretly Peter McCormick.
No.
100%. That's Peter McCormick's side.
Suspect. This is our suspect over here. Not really, but.
What are you saying?
No, I'm saying, our suspect over here.
Oh, okay.
Behind, because the allocation of funds against network. Going back to the joke. Well, whatever. Let's keep it going.
It's hilarious that this guy is saying this, though, right? I mean,
yeah. Also, this
like literally acting like a loser while you call other people.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come on, man, be a little self-aware.
Yeah. Yeah, but let's move. No one is a loser. Everybody loves each other. All right. Have a good Friday. Have a good weekend. Moving on. Respect everybody.
You called the entire Monero community
losers. We should update our bios.
My older sister. That might be that's what she used to call me when I was a kid. That used to be like the most hurtful thing. You could
a loser.
Say you're a loser.
We should update our bios in solidarity. Monero losers. Turn it into a movement. That'll be funny. But yeah, let's talk about what Odell posted. He has 2 interesting tweets. Let's talk about this one actually. First, so Celsius disclose names and transaction history of all users during bankruptcy. And quite a few people used Celsius, I don't think I have any friends, but yeah, a lot of people. So yeah, this is not good. It's not a good thing at all. Essentially, storing growing lists of Bitcoiners and our transaction history puts us all at risk. It's publicly linked to government IDs because you do need to verify your who you are, your person. So this is unfortunate. Don't use such platforms. Let's talk about Foundry. And basically, Foundry is a full KYC mining pool popular with large corporate miners. It already represents 25% of Bitcoin hash rate, and it's US based. And yeah, so 25% is a lot. It's definitely a lot.
Oh, wait, what are they doing? They're what's the news though? They're gonna do what? Foundry is well, imagine the new. Oh, they're gonna go into mining, right?
Yeah.
They're a pool currently, right? But now they're gonna start buying mining equipment. Is that
yeah?
Right. And they're a KYC compliant pool. Wait, go back.
Yeah. Let's full KYC mining pool popular with large corporate miners.
Yeah, it's a full KYC mining pool, and now they're going to go into the actual business of buying the mining equipment as the market crashes. It's Barry Silbert, Grayscale, same guy behind Zcash, and now they're going to buy up a big chunk of them, try to get into the mining industry, and he's saying they're ripe for bowing to regulators.
Mm-hmm. Essentially,
tough guys. Not possible with Monero.
Yeah, not possible. Also, 25% is a lot. Last year, yeah, 20. Yeah, last year we had, before May, we had I think over 50% of the network, 49 or something like that, was mined in China. So you definitely have the.
It's crazy, because everybody in the Bitcoin community is scared of central bank digital currencies. Meanwhile, they're effectively creating their own version of it.
Right. And, actually, the way you would stop this with Monero is to increase the electricity price, which is happening right now. Because there are some people that mine Monero that can't do it as much anymore. So it does affect the network. That's the only thing that it can do. But then it affects everybody else, and they're gonna be angry, and But you can go door to door. You can do that.
Mm-hmm.
What is this NVIDIA thing? Are you playing games or mining Monero? You can't do that. But let's talk about scams. Let's talk about Kim Kardashian. She got paid $250,000 to promote Ethereum Max, and she lost 1.3 million of that on CC fine.
Do you have play the video on this one if you have? Do you have it? Oh, yeah.
I do. the whole thing.
Public
or?
service announcement. This
I
is
didn't
amazing.
even see this.
Let's see.
We
you're
need
muted.
sound. You're muted.
Click on the little speaker. No, that little speaker is not on loud.
Yeah. It's working for me. Yeah. Oh yeah. Why is it not working? Because some.
Send me the link and I'll play. Oh,
Did it not work last time either?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working.
Sorry, guys. We're still working out the kinks.
Yeah.
But come on, the news has gotten a lot better. Give us some credit.
It has, but I have no idea because sometimes it's working.
This is like a very detailed, like news report, bro.
It's like.
Send me the link and I'll post it on my
Friday night news report.
Anything. No worries.
We also have a lot more to go through.
Exactly.
We
So
need to do a MONEROTOPIA marathon episode.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Well, we did that once with the
UFC
that
worked out, but
and we passed out and we fell asleep and it was just streaming.
I remember.
That was
a hot mess.
Oh, and the guy's camera died or something.
Yeah, no, it wasn't our fault.
Hours.
Like we had it on. We actually like streamed it. If you ever like look back to that episode, it's actually really funny.
That was tragic.
Because then because the thing is, I had an alarm on like every 20 minutes, so it's like I didn't really sleep.
Whatever happened to him? Is he
I
all
think
right? I
he's
haven't
right.
seen him
He's-
on
he's,
Twitter
you
in a
know.
while. He's an interesting character.
All right, let's. That is hilarious. That is funny. No, it was,
You able to play it?
Yeah, I'm gonna play it right now. Let's see. There you go. Nope. There you go. All right.
Celebrities and influencers often are endorsing a variety of products and services across television ads, social media, or print, on everything from clothing, diet plans, to perfumes. It catches our attention. We always wondered, did they use the product? Do they like the product? How much were they paid to endorse it? In any case, what does this have to do with the Securities and Exchange Commission?
Oh, gee, this is hilarious.
Sometimes celebrities endorse investment opportunities like crypto tokens or special purpose acquisition companies. Celebrity endorsements, though, don't mean that an investment product is right for you, even frankly, that it's legitimate. Even if a celebrity endorsement is genuine, each investment has its own risk and opportunities and may not fit your investment needs. Furthermore, a celebrity or influencer's incentives aren't necessarily aligned with yours. We might enjoy watching a celebrity playing on a basketball court, starring in a reality TV show or a movie, or performing to a large crowd at a stadium show. We shouldn't confuse those skills, though, with the very different skills needed to offer appropriate investment advice. So, before investing,
This is so
please do
funny.
your research. Consider the investment's potential risks and benefits in light of your own financial goals. Search a company's finances, organization, and business prospects through the Securities and Exchange Commission's database called EDGAR. And when it comes to crypto, remember, many of these are highly speculative assets. You may be wondering if it's right for you or even if it might be a scam. If you have questions about investing, check out our resources at investor.gov.
That is so funny.
Thank you, Gary.
This is
Thank
your
you,
brain.
Gary.
This is your brain. Crypto.
That is too funny.
What are
That is so
platforms?
funny.
All right,
Oh, no.
turn them off. Turn them off.
No,
Get them
he's
out of
on
my
us.
head.
No one else.
Okay, I hear
So
him.
calm down. Here's Doug's head.
It-
I
Right,
stopped sharing the
Things
screen.
have gotten so bizarre, right?
they have.
Funny.
They put a lot of resources into this thing.
I mean, let's be frank, right? Like the people need to be warned, right? Because people are freaking doing really dumb stuff with crypto. But it's so sad that it's like it's the government that's stepping in. I don't know. The whole thing is just
Absolutely.
How did we get here, guys? Oh my god, people get
not-
wrecked. They'll buy the wrong stuff. And that's it. It'll clean itself up.
But guys, like, pay attention to what you buy and things that you do with your money. Really, like, it's also your own responsibility. You
I'm
know.
surprised that did they show any like crypto logos? Did they show like Dogecoin and stuff and like Shiba Inu?
No.
They didn't even sell like show actual logos. That's funny.
No. Well, I think he talked about Monero one time. I don't know, some time ago. I don't know.
Did he?
Anyways, let's
What
move
did he
on.
say about Monero? Okay.
No, I don't know. I think I might, maybe not. I don't know. But moving on. Before I move on, I want to say that with this money that she lost, we could have had some amazing MONEROTOPIA with $1.3 million.
Oh my
That
god.
budget. Oh my god.
Seriously.
We can.
Again, reach out. We'll make you a speaker.
Kim Kardashian.
We'll bring you back. We'll
Yeah,
fix the brand.
We'll fix
good
yeah.
here.
We'll fix your
All roads lead to Monero. You made a mistake. You found Monero.
You can go back to Monero. Let's talk about Russia and Bitcoin. So Russia, essentially, as we know, since February, has been prohibited from transacting internationally, and they're trying to find their way to be able to transact. And they are seeking a haven in Bitcoin and crypto. So the Ministry of Finance of the Russian Federation plans to let any industry in the country to accept Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies for international trade without restriction. Now, they did say that, but with a bit of hesitation from Bank of Russia, because there's a difference of opinion coming from the Bank of Russia. The central bank is in favor of creating a full-fledged infrastructure for the circulation of digital currencies in Russia. So essentially, they do want digital currencies. Everybody's going towards it. And they believe that we need local crypto infrastructure. First of all, to protect the interest of citizens. Because now those who trade their digital currencies on crypto exchanges are limited. Secondly, to control when digital currency is used legally and when not. Lastly, moreover, the central bank will reportedly begin testing a digital ruble sometime in April 2023. And the opening of digital wallets to non-residents is expected to take place in 2024. That's not far away. So they're trying to escape with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Bank of Russia kind of likes it, kind of not, because they want the digital ruble. They want to have control, obviously.
Yeah, so I didn't really look into this much. So I thought it was more about them being like super open and pro Bitcoin, but they're, at the same time they're creating their own central bank. Like they're doubling down on the fact that they're creating their own central bank digital currency.
Right. I mean, the ministry wants it, but the bank, has a different opinion. Like they want digital, but not like that. They want their own digital. So yeah. So good luck with that, because Europe. Just was this posted? October 4th and October 6th. Let's see on this, October 6th. Yep, 2 days later or something like that. The EU has a response, and now Russian wallets, crypto wallets, exchanges, whatever you have, are. Let me just make sure I'm not saying something wrong. Yeah, all Bitcoin and cryptocurrency wallets, accounts, and custody services in Russia are hereby banned. Previously, they had just a transaction limit to 10,000 euro, but now they're banned. So that didn't work.
I don't even fully understand what how the what they really mean by that, right?
Right. Well, essentially, you can't ban it within the country, but you can. Well, wait. Are hereby banned. How you can't really do that?
So it's people in Europe aren't able to interact with Russian accounts, right?
I think that's what they mean. All Bitcoin and cryptocurrency wallets are hereby banned. You can't just ban. Yeah, I mean, you can ban them from transacting internationally. And you see a transaction coming from a Russian citizen, and you say no, we can't accept that, and then flag it back. Yeah, you can do that, but
I mean, here's the thing: they're moving towards trying to regulate and co-opt these things, and let's see what how Bitcoin handles it. It didn't handle it too well in Canada, and it's starting to show its flaws again. Right? They're gonna get their hands around it.
Absolutely, and there's actually a very good point just about that. Let me see where it is. Yeah, here. So this article talks about the same thing, but cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin are peer-to-peer and permissionless, making it significantly more difficult for Western authorities to choke off trade facilitated through the network. So it is harder, sure. However, there are some limitations. Most cryptocurrencies use highly transparent public ledgers, affording their users little transaction privacy, because there's not much. Now, let's see. Also, this is crazy. Senator Elizabeth Warren. I think she needs to just drink some coffee or some beer, because she's been passing a lot of and talking about a lot of things. She's proposing a bill targeting node validators and software developers that helped facilitate transactions for sanctioned Russian entities in March.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, and they're saying as such, it's difficult to move significant funds across the network without experts being able to track down and identify the culprit. They're talking about Bitcoin and pretty much every other crypto except Monero.
Exactly. So Monero enables Russia to do whatever it wants, and any
Right, but
country to do
this
whatever.
this is the good and bad, right? Obviously, we think it's all very very good, but it's going to create a moment where governments are going to be talking about Monero and how they're going to be handling it. We're getting closer and closer to that point.
Yeah, and with the way Monero is built, we're gonna see how that's gonna affect Monero really.
I see a lot of people kind of like concern bells going up. What are we going to do if they ban it? The price is going to go down? How do I'm seeing a lot more of that. And the answer is if you're in this for the right reasons, you really don't care. We're trying to build a opt out and build our own economy of people that are accepting of digital cash, of this concept. And so it's not about asking for permission. It's about building unstoppable tech that can't be regulated, and it's about believing in the concept to the degree that you think it's morally right, and that no matter what the government does, you're going to be using Monero because you think it's the right thing to do. And so if you have those, beliefs, then everything else falls into place. And that's what my understanding is what Bitcoin was started for.
For sure. And I'm not. Why should you be worried? It's already not on a lot of exchanges. There's a lot of ways in which you can store your Monero. They can go over a single entity and just shut it down. So what's the worry?
And nobody's saying put your entire net worth into Monero. Just use Monero and continue to use it as digital cash.
Exactly.
If you want to buy a little bit more now, that's up to you. But it's not. There's really no risk if you're just using it as digital cash.
Absolutely. So let's also talk about this article, which is again about Russia and Ukraine and crypto. And this one is interesting because it talks about Binance and Chain Analysis and Elliptic and all these companies basically coming together to track transactions and make sure that they're not going to Russia, or nothing illicit is occurring on the network. So let's see, because I don't remember exactly where it was. So essentially, Russia received $4 million worth of cryptocurrency, and these has been used for ammunition and equipment, military contractors and weapons manufacturers. But Chain Analysis traced, roughly 1.8 million from the funds, and that's a big ad. Wow, it's really big. Where is it? And then Binance investigation team, and they're really stepping up when it comes to these kind of things. And its own report found that a total of 4.2 million in crypto had been funneled to Russian military groups since February. So Binance is really stepping up their game when it comes to tracing transactions and helping officials track what they think is illicit transactions. So this is interesting, but
and it's crazy. I mean, they're talking about how this is a bad thing, right? You could use it to finance the Russian war efforts, but crypto was also used to send money to the Ukraine, right? So it's like it works both ways.
Exactly. It works both ways.
It's unstoppable money. It could be used for anything you want to use it for.
Exactly. And what about those people in Palestine that are ruled over by Israelis, and if they want to send money to the US, good luck. So a lot of that was a good point, actually. Two different. Let's talk about MiCA. It's markets in crypto assets. It's a regulation passed in the European Council on October 5th. This is all fresh stuff. And essentially, instead of having national implementations, national laws for crypto and regulations and the regulatory frameworks, they're gonna have MiCA, which will eliminate this need, and it's gonna go operate across the 27 member countries of the EU. There's gonna be one to rule them all, and it's gonna propagate to everybody.
Here we go, guys. One world government in the making. Just another step forward. Another step forward for the new world order.
I think they're skipping 2 steps from the stairs.
We got them beat, man. We got them beat.
Yeah.
Everybody just needs to use Monero. Simple as that.
Yeah.
They're just scared. They're scaring people out. Scaring them.
Yeah. Yeah, but basically this is what this article is about. There's not much more to it, So let's go into MasterCard. Yeah, there's a bunch of regulation coming on, especially since the beginning of October. MasterCard launches crypto secure to identify digital asset risks for card issuers. They're so worried about us. That's what's funny. They're so worried about us not putting money into this or that, but they're not worried when they block your bank account, or they're not worried that you might have a bad credit score and it wasn't your fault, but they're worried where you put your money in.
Right.
That's very funny. I'm more worried about what they do with the fractional reserve. What do they do with my money that I have in my bank account? Because I can't just go and get all of it now. They're using it. They're using everybody's money to do whatever they do. So I'm more worried about that. Don't worry about us. It's my money.
Yeah, the degree they're going to surveil people. It's just out of control. Yeah,
and look at MasterCard.
Familiar party, CipherTrace, right?
CipherTrace, with its own sophisticated AI-based systems for combating fraud in the fiat currency world. Thank you so much. I was so worried.
They own CipherTrace, right? MasterCard owns them, I think.
Combined.
Yeah, I think they own them. Or they're investors. Yeah.
The CipherTrace acquisition.
I think they bought. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow, that's huge. And launch of Crypto Secure. Look at that. That's interesting. That's a big acquisition.
They can't trace Monero.
I mean, try. I misspelled ghost, but try. How do you trace this? You don't. Who is it? Where's this guy from? You don't know. I already made this joke. Whatever.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
No. Made in America. One word to rule them all. Okay. So I have really no idea why the audio is not working. But should we watch? What is this? That's Joe Biden and the nuclear Armageddon. So we pretty much went over all the Monero things.
Yeah, I mean, the last right. The final story is we're nearing towards all-out nuclear war, apparently, between the Ukrainian president and our president. They're just really inching us further and further, right? So he called out to NATO, saying NATO should make preemptive attacks, right, against Russia to prevent them from basically using a nuke. And Biden came out and said, I think it was yesterday at a party, right, or at some event, and I guess warning people about the potential for nuclear war. Crazy, man, crazy.
I've seen anonymous tweet about this, and they said that this is not what he said. That he didn't actually ask for preemptive nuking. Now, I did hear preemptive when he was speaking. I don't speak Ukrainian, but it's kind of close to, Romanian a little bit. So I'm not sure. Is this a direct translation? I did hear preemptive, but say if it's true, it's absolutely insane. To basically ask for preemptive nuclear bombing on Russia, and then we also had, Biden said. Also, Biden was on the 60-minute interview. I'm not sure if you guys seen it. If you do, you check it out. And he was asked about nuclear war, and he said it very firmly 3 times
You want
in
to
one
play?
word.
Or send me the link just in
Yeah,
case
that's a
the
good
sound.
Sure. He basically said, don't. I think that stopped the war, and I think, flowers started growing in Chernobyl again, and it really helped everything.
I mean, what's going on here? They want us focused on this. They don't want people focused on the fact that inflation is going through the freaking roof. This is a distraction. Got the midterms coming up, and they want to blame inflation on this. They're trying to blame everything on this and make this bigger than what it is, and to the point where they're willing to risk moving us closer to World War III for political purposes, to take people's attention off of the real issues, which is the fact that fiat is collapsing.
Yes, it is. Should I send you the link? Oh, sorry.
What it? Yeah. 7. We'll play it. Let's see if that works. Then send me the link. I don't know. Yeah. Because I think I have a different one.
Play it.
Yeah, we don't.
Next time we'll send the links to us. Is that it for news?
Yeah, just one more thing. Yeah, if we're talking
about
like
World War III, is that it? Anything else you get?
Yeah, this one is about inflation, World War III. So he was also asked about inflation, and wait, I think no. He was asked, is the economy going to get worse before it gets better? He said, no, I don't think so. We hope. Yeah, it's very funny.
A Russian missile strike.
What?
Was he asked about inflation? What was his response to inflation? I guess he was just blaming it on the war, I would think.
He talked about something about the percentage and how he created so many jobs, and he insisted on the jobs that he created. So obviously, not responding directly.
Not really answering the question.
Not really answering the question. But yeah, this has been this week's news section, guys. One thing that I should mention in the beginning, but I'll mention it right now at the end. Links are in the description, so if you want to check them out and see what we talked about, you can. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. Not a lot of people know that we have an Instagram, and so you should definitely check it out. Yeah, so a lot of things going on in the Monero space. And hopefully we'll see you next week if there's no bombings and.
Oh my goodness!
No, God. Okay, no.
You're worse than Biden, man. Jesus.
No.
Oh, no.
Don't.
Plug in his jokes.
Don't. But I think next
week
we'll
Biden of Monero. It's me. Don't worry.
Okay, that was a bad joke.
No. It was.
No. But I think we'll do it together next week since we'll be together.
Yes, that's what I didn't want to announce it, but yeah, I'll see you. We'll see you next week.
We'll
see you in Miami.
Yeah, man.
Yay!
It's gonna be great.
How is it going over there? Side note. I mean,
no, it's okay.
Well,
it's
where
fine.
you are, I guess, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, the storm. But how affected was Miami? Miami wasn't too bad affected, right?
Yeah, I don't think Miami was.
From what I've seen, no. I've actually went to Miami last weekend, and it was okay.
Okay.
Right. So we'll be fine, guys.
Yeah, we're excited. We lined up a venue to check out, and then we'll tell you.
Talk to you offline, my friend. Ooh.
Oh.
The suspense. Thank you, Tony, for doing your new segment. We appreciate your time, and
I appreciate you guys also.
And yeah, I guess we'll see you next week, and MONEROTOPIA. We'll see. Well, we're gonna
see what day we do it.
We'll probably figure it out. But thank you guys. I know we'll figure it out. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
We'll see you.
Stick around if you like, but yeah, cheers.
Stick around.
Adios.
All righty, my friend. Bye. All righty. I guess we'll move on to the viewers on stage segment. Hopefully, we'll do like a short one. because it's been almost
It's only
2 hours.
been 2 hours.
I know.
Let's see if anybody even wants to come up. I don't see anybody
We'll
up.
see. I don't know.
Come on up,
we'll
guys.
We'll see. It's the Viewers on Stage segment. It's that time where we invite you, the viewers, up on stage to comment on anything you've heard so far today, ask the guest a question, or maybe talk about one of the news topics. Come on down. Well, the guest has left, so obviously can't really ask.
I don't think
the guest
anybody enjoys this show as much as we do. I think.
No, I think people do. It's just, people have lives. People have lives. People have lives.
No, there's people watching. Guys, jump on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, people are watching, but also people have lives, and then they end up watching it off air.
Yeah, plus we keep moving the time, and then we're late. That doesn't help.
No, that doesn't. But true supporters will be there.
This show is for true supporters only.
I believe so.
That's why we'll keep moving.
Yeah, look at that.
We
Look
want
at
to
that.
know who's who's
Eon
really following
enjoys
us.
this show.
We're gonna try to evade our viewers.
Well, you know what? We keep it spicy,
And
right?
if you show up,
hey,
we know.
are we
We're
on
legit.
Saturday morning? Hey, are we on Thursday evenings? Whoa.
It's like
Are we on
Monero.
Friday?
We're
Yeah,
elusive.
we're mysterious. So
Mysterious.
you know what? We appreciate your time. and we
Oh, let's
appreciate
give
the
out a
love.
best. I'll give out another Monero reward for best comments today, or best participator. So that includes if you jump up on stage, it'll be best participation. I tried to. What happened with the last guy? He never
emailed me, and I took a screenshot of it, but I don't want to mess
we're
it
not
up.
typing in the thing.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Yeah,
so.
man. So you
Oh, no,
never
I
claimed
did-
your prize.
I
You gotta
did
email us your
Yeah, I know.
address.
It was yeah, I'm not gonna say the name because I don't know, people, be sketchy out there. So the person that was on air out in the chat room last week, you know who you are. Please email us again.
Yeah, email us your address.
Because I don't want to even say your name
tip.
because that's what happened on Twitter. Someone created a completely fake one, and then we sent it to them instead of the other one. So I learned from my lesson, my friend.
Yes.
Oh, whoa, Anode. It's 2 a.m. We heart you. We love you.
All
Thank
right,
you
he's
so
taking the lead.
much.
Anode has the
Look at
lead
that.
right now for best participation. I mean, there's been great comments.
There has been a great comment. Yeah.
Gone bat, but he already works for us.
We love you too. We love you too. But we talked to him offline.
Yeah, he's got his thumb on the pulse of everything as it's
But
going
we have
down.
Anode 2 a.m. That's a trooper. 2
I saw
a.m.
Stoic in here, but everybody knows
Stoic too.
Yeah.
We love Stoic too. Thank you so much. for the
Stoic,
love
we'll
and
have to
support.
have you on to talk about your book, man.
XOR. It's 4 a.m.
Exciting.
Oh, these are see, we do have love. Look at that. 4 a.m. where they are.
Damn.
It's pretty.
All
and
right,
then
now it's just getting
2:15,
weird. Now it's just getting weird, guys. You guys are weird. You guys
And
are
then
go to bed.
Well,
Or they're
we
waking up
appreciate-
early for MONEROTOPIA.
they're
That'd be
waking up
amazing.
early, and then
They
they're
probably
just
have
gonna
their
have-
gratuitous.
Yeah. Look at that. Yeah. Oh, thank you guys. We appreciate, or gals. I don't know, guys and gals, whoever, people.
Combat
Thank
is
you.
up here. Anybody else want to jump up?
Oh, you're muted, Mr. Tony, if you were talking.
Oh,
No?
okay. Ian, yes, I'm trying to message Ian or Stoic. Come on, hop on, guys.
I know.
Let's discuss
Hop on. Lots to talk
if you
about.
can.
I mean, we're 2 hours in, guys.
Granted, we already
I
covered
know.
it, but if you want to,
Like people, look, Stoic is coming on.
Keep drinking, Sunita. Keep drinking.
No pressure. We have.
All right.
Stoic.
Stoic.
Wow,
Is
we've
this
never
the first?
seen you.
Whoa.
It's a first.
All
It's a
right.
very
guys.
Moment.
Hold on. We're getting feedback.
Combat is up here. Anybody else want to jump up? Oh yeah. I'm hearing myself.
Yeah.
Sounds
So
horrible.
you're gonna have to put on headphones, I think. Hold on, I muted you.
Yeah.
Stoic.
This is the first time Stoic is really doxing himself
Stoic
today.
Yeah,
For
right.
sure.
Or Stoic put it on really, really low, and then.
How do we know this is the real stuff? I'm not.
I don't
buying it.
know.
This
He
is-
froze. He froze.
Shit.
He froze.
I think that was... Gone bad left. He
No,
left.
no,
I'm
no,
not
no,
gonna
no,
get
no.
insulted. We lost.
No. We lost combat fire. No, Stoic.
There you go.
Combat.
Hey, gone bad.
Then we don't hear feedback because I don't want to
Okay.
annoy people in the
Oh
podcast.
yeah, let's
All right,
let's
so,
Stoic.
Okay, take 2. I've unmuted you, or I'm trying to. Okay, now you got to mute yourself. There you go. Now. Hi.
Stoic there.
Stoic? Are you?
Oh,
We get a little delay.
Oh
I don't
no,
know.
we have
Is
a
he here?
delay. Hello?
Yeah, we do have a delay.
Yeah.
I can hear you guys.
Well, hello. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we got a delay.
Yeah, we have a delay.
He's on the other side of the world. We're so spoiled with our technology.
We're like, come on. But we get it.
I
What
want
are you talking
instant
about? We
access
had
to
issues
Stoic in
last week.
Australia.
Aw.
All right, well, we got to do a good version of
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Well,
we
maybe
don't
we'll have,
want
like,
to.
a
But that was
one-on-one.
great. He like
Or we'll
showed
have
up.
him on
We
as
were
a
like,
special guest.
we know
'cause,
he's
you
a
know,
real
we don't know who
person
Stoic
now.
is.
It just makes it more intriguing.
Yes, it is. The suspense, guys. The suspense. 2 hours in, though.
Speaking of
so-
suspense, we got to watch the final episode tonight of what is it? What's the name of the show?
Severance. Is anyone
Severance.
watching that?
Oh my god!
I don't know. We're promoting it, but
Get into it, people.
It's pretty wacky and it's awesome.
Amazing.
What is it about?
What is it about?
These people have like brain chips implanted into their brains where it deletes their memory from whenever they go into work. They work for this company called Lumen, and so during the work part of their day, they never remember what happens, and then they go opt out back into their normal life every day. It's wild.
What is
It's
the name
great.
of the show?
Severance.
Severance, so good. What is it?
It's
HBO?
on no, not HBO.
Oh, I don't
Apple
know.
TV.
Apple TV.
Apple TV. Yeah. So we're on the last episode, and it's slow, but you have to be.
No,
like-
it's not slow. It's great.
No, but some people will probably think it's slow, but it's so good.
That sounds
A lot of
super interesting.
suspense.
Monero
and-
crowd will appreciate
Yeah.
it.
It's like day and night. It's
good.
pretty amazing. It's a really good show.
And now we
so-
talked it up too much. People are gonna-
Yeah, I know. Hopefully you don't get disappointed. Please don't tell us. Anyway, Stoic said he'll be back 100%. We told him we'll have him we'll have him on as a special guest because it's even better. So
Do
we'll
Monero
do that.
Talk with them.
Yeah. So with that, I think
Gombat, anything you want to bring up?
yeah, I was hoping to hear about that news about I couldn't find it, but there was some tweet this week about a certain government. I couldn't find which one, but that say that Monero is a much bigger threat than Bitcoin. But basically, Bitcoin isn't a threat to them.
Oh wow, what government was that?
I can't remember. I can't find it. But yeah, because he basically said that in the dark markets, Bitcoin usage was much lower, so it wasn't a threat, and that it should focus on Monero, which was really
wow,
interesting.
Yeah, tweet that out when you find that.
Yeah.
I missed that one. Curious. Oh, they're catching on, guys. It's like I was surprised it took them this long, right? It's like, come on, wasn't obvious.
Yeah, but really interesting to have
definitely.
something that works. I mean,
yeah, very interesting. I'd like to know what country it is that's calling Monero out by name right now.
Gotta look it up.
I mean, I've seen there were like Gombat, we were talking about this, right? To try to get somebody from Rand on the show.
Yeah, will be awesome.
Yeah, because I remember reports where Monero was mentioned. They were concerned how it was being used to finance terrorism and things like that. So yeah, United States government has definitely pointed it out by name as well. But yeah, things are continuing to heat up.
Yeah, I mean, there will come a point where they, like right now, they are acting like, for example, in this NSA guide, they wouldn't mention the name of Monero, but it's obvious and they cannot hide it for much longer.
I did not see that story this week. That's big. Wow. Yeah. Has there been any other comments on that? I mean, that's pretty interesting. Have any government officials weighed in or said anything or?
Yeah, I think it was Germany, but yeah, it was basically like they were like trying to crack down on dark markets, and yeah, say that most of the activity went through Monero.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to focus that much on Bitcoin, which is just hilarious.
I mean, this is why the news is starting to come out at an exponential rate, right? It's not just there's going to be more and more Monero related news, whether or not it directly involves Monero or just involves this idea of governments gaining more control over other cryptos. It's just exponentially growing.
There was also that Monero mentioned in that Netflix show of last week, I believe.
Yeah.
What show is that?
Scandinavian, Norwegian. Yeah.
I saw it on Reddit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's pretty cool that Monero. I mean, it's eventually just gonna be something from today to day, right? So you can really like hide it for much longer. I mean, it's just gonna be around, and to me, that's really cool because I don't think that's bad press. If anything, it means that when shit hits the fan, people will know what actually works. Because right now they might think, oh, it's just for criminals. I'm not a criminal, but eventually, like everyone becomes a criminal. I mean, hypothetically. And so it's nice to know, what works. How can you defend yourself?
It's the Streisand effect, in effect, as they try to clamp down on it and talk about it. It's just going to gain more adoption.
You know what's funny?
The hardest thing that Monero needs to overcome is marketing and getting the word out that it works as digital cash, and effectively the government is going to do that for us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think in 1 year I'm gonna send Sunita like 50 links for the new section.
God, I'm gonna have a heart attack. That's it.
Sunita's getting very hungry here, guys.
I'm getting hungry,
I think
guys.
I pushed it to
I'm
the
like
limit.
2 hours. I think
Yeah,
we're good.
we're over the 2
it's
hours.
Like 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And then in addition, we have the 2 hours. I think I need a kind of break.
Let's give her
Yeah.
a round of applause there.
Alrighty.
All right, guys.
Let's call it.
We're gonna call it a night.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, it's been
Gombat,
2
thank
hours.
you so much. Tony, amazing news segment. That was a marathon.
Yes. Awesome.
Thank you to
Thank
aFungible. I hope you stick around for as long as you possibly can. I love the price reports you're doing. And thank you to our special guest this week.
Yeah.
As well. Dave, that's the full name? David.
Derrick.
The Freedom Cells guy.
Derrick Broze.
Google Freedom Cells. Check it out. And if you didn't see that part of the show, I highly recommend you go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
All right. Yeah, I think we're gonna call it because we're gonna go eat. I need to go eat.
We're hungry, guys.
We're hungry.
Right.
It's been a long day from our day job and this wonderful show. And yeah, I guess we'll see you next week in Miami. Not sure, just so you're aware what time it's gonna be.
Probably Saturday.
It definitely will be Saturday, but probably not at 11 a.m. because it depends on what we're doing, if he's doing and all that fun stuff. But with that, I guess we'll see you guys next week. And look, he has his glasses, and we'll see you, Tony, next week. And thank you,
Tony.
guys.
We were saying we want to put the word out, like pick a location and time, and try to get Monero people to come hang out. Like we'll already have like 4 people, and we should make it public knowledge. Pick a time, place.
Yeah, we'll tweet it.
Yeah.
And we should go to a place, like have lunch and use cake pay.
There you
go.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a great weekend, my friends.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Adios. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you for joining us on this week's MONEROTOPIA episode. We stream live shows every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube and Odyssey, or listen to the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, or Stitcher. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter or join us in the MONEROTOPIA Telegram group. See you all next week.